So I've been meditating on this subtopic for quite some time because I had it on the list of things to talk about, and I thought that maybe it might be a bit too sensitive, but it has to be spoken about because I've been seeing some comments in regards to this topic. We're calling this topic Wigs in the Workplace. Wigs in the workplace. Now, I want to start off by saying I've never really been a fancy Cambodian Remy wig girl, and maybe that's because my pockets weren't long enough for the installments. But I prefer the short cut anyway, the Great Gatsby wig. I was seeing comments about how the girls are making friends with each other and stealing wigs. If you had a synthetic wig, that would not be happening, I'm sorry to say. Like, the girls just ain't wearing synthetic wigs anymore. Like, is it that serious to take someone else's wig? I don't know. But, yeah. Another thing that weirds me out is when ladies say, if my man wants a different woman, I got a different wig for each day of the week so I can be a different person. And I don't think they really understand what they're saying, because hair has energy. I don't want that to go over their head. Like, where does the hair come from? Who did it belong to? Was it wrongfully taken? Because I have to be mindful that human trafficking is a thing and hair is a big business. So it's just a bit, it's a bit of a sticky one, you know what I mean? But for those who do wear wigs, may I suggest that when you get your installment done, that you sage the hair or just simply pray over it because of that fact. I had put up an episode about an oil recommendation for those whose edges have fallen victim to the wig clips, and I hope that will help you. Now on to the colleagues. Oof. Let's adjust the colleagues because I realised why I was reprogramming myself to know that messy isn't what it means. So let's go with this. Raise your hand if someone has said to you when wearing a wig, I prefer your hair straight. Now raise your hand if someone has forced up themselves to go and touch your wig. I could do this all day. I saw a tweet about how a lady had her wig pulled off in the workplace, and I was appalled by it. Like, what makes you think you can put your hand in someone's head? Like, what is it about wigs that that makes people ignorant and act a fool? Like, I don't know if this is ingrained racism or it's just nosiness. Like, what does it matter if the hair's mine or not? Like, what does it matter what's under it? Like, I could have alopecia for all you know. Like, why are you being nosy? Why can't you just mind your business? It's just, it's I'm trying to understand it. I think people need to reprogram that thing to do with wigs. Like, don't ask nobody nothing, no questions about their wig, because it's not your business, kind of thing. So I go on to say this because I remember in an old workplace, my old boss had said to me, after me having my hair straight, because I've said, how many times have we worn a wig to the workplace to get the job in the first place? And I think we need to stop doing that. So when I was at this job, I had my hair straight, and then I decided to start wearing my fro, and the lady had said to me, I prefer your hair straight, I don't like it like this. Best believe I continued to rock the fro. But then I was thinking about how many other times, how many people actually do go through this. Like, people are still getting kicked out of school for having protective hairstyles, and it needs to stop, but particularly in the workplace. Now, last year I frequently worked at the bank, and I made it for me to go in there wearing braids. Like, I'm starting off as I am, you know what I mean, instead of wearing the wig and then transitioning to the natural hair. So I wore my braid styles, like 5 different braid styles. And the public had always came up to me like, oh, I love your hair in these braids. I love the colour, I love the style and everything like that. Some people had asked for my number to do their children's hair, which I think was really cute. But in the workplace, no. only a handful of people said something. One woman who wore braids herself and the two cleaners, so a very small percent. And it wasn't that they didn't compliment her or anything like that. It was just weird to me because on my last day, I couldn't be bothered, so I wore my Great Gatsby wig. I just slapped it on, went to work. And when I got to the doors, the energy had changed. Like, they was much more friendly. They didn't say hello, they just stared at me for some reason. Later on, I went on about my day, and I found out that that's because they thought I was someone else or something like that. But that makes no sense. I've had it in other workplaces too when I've worn a wig, and it was like, oh, your sister, and I'm like, it's weird. So anyway, on that day, I went for my lunch break, and someone said, oh, I didn't notice it was you. I like your hair like this. It's so different and everything like that. And I said to her, what do you mean by that? Because I was generally trying to understand. And her colleague said, well, it's straight, innit? Like, I like it like this. I like it straight and things like that. So, again, I said, what do you guys mean by that? Because in other workplaces, I've heard these comments, and it's like, you guys don't like braids and stuff. So we had this conversation, and the boss walked in, and it's like, oh, your hair's straight. I like it like this. So I just looked at the other colleagues and smiled and walked off because I weren't going to explain it no more. I went back to my position, and another colleague came up to me. Now, I knew what the conversation was because we've never really had a conversation. She's never said hi to me before or anything like that, so I already knew. She said, oh, your hair's straight. I like it like this. And I said, what do you mean by that? Because I've already had to speak to your colleague. Like, what do you guys mean when you say this, like, really deep down? And she's like, oh, I don't know, but it's nice straight. And I said, okay, but you've never complimented none of my other hairstyles. And she goes, well, that's your natural hair, isn't it? And that was the wrong answer because the braids isn't my natural hairstyle, if you know what I mean. But I just wanted to see what she would say. And she said, when I wear my hair curly, nobody says anything at all. But when it's straight, they all come over to me and they want to touch it and everything like that. And I goes to her, have you never wondered why that is? Because the funny thing is, she was not white. So I'm trying to have this honest dialogue. She goes, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I guess that's just the way it is. But I don't think that's the way it is. I feel like they think that straight hair means professional. So every time someone says to me, I like your hair straight, I just like, it's a wig. Because we're going to end this conversation now. I'm not going to say thanks. But I generally want to know, like, what do you guys mean by I like your hair more straight? What is it about wigs? I just don't get it. Why are you pulling wigs off? Why does it matter? Like, what does it matter if it's my hair or not? Especially in the workplace. Like, how does your hair determine your work? What is it about wigs and the texture of our hair that makes you want to put your hand in our hair? I think you guys in the workplace who don't have the same texture as us need to really think about it because it's starting to piss